Okay, everyone, if you can see us, please comment in the comment section so we can make sure everything is actually working and we are actually live. Again, we may have slight delays from what you can see and what we say, so it's usually around about 30-second delay. So if you are able to see us, please comment so we know. And I'm getting an echo at the moment, so that means something's not right. There we go, that's fixed now. Right, okay, so that's why we always go this countdown. So if you can see us, everyone, please comment in the comment section so I actually know. Otherwise, could be just sitting here talking to nobody. And I'm just checking the channels myself to make sure they are live. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, live. Okay, yes, we're getting a few people commenting. Rob Williams, Marianne Rhodes, and Richard Creedy, yep, can hear and see us, which is good. Well, good in some senses. It might be a bad thing because, well, I know I'm not the best looking person in the world, so, but anyway, so, right, let's get this show on the road. Let me get that on there. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see us. So welcome to the Tech for Tech's Tech Talk, episode 8, Digital Media and Lockdown 2.0. This is a live show. If for any reason you can hear a lot of bangs, it's because fireworks are going off as it's bonfire night. If you don't know what that is, it's basically everyone in the UK celebrating that Parliament did not get blown up a long time ago. How times have changed. We are streaming live to the Tech for Tech Facebook group and page, YouTube and Twitch. You will now be able to listen to the show on Apple, Amazon, Google, TuneIn and Spotify podcasts, as well as a few other, which I'm not going to list because I'll be here all day. I'm your host, Phil Griffiths. Today, I have 4 co-hosts. First of all, we have Jennifer Griffiths, who is the owner of Tech for Tech. How are you doing today, Jennifer?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. Secondly, all the way from Ireland, we have Cormac O'Donoghue from Crosshaven Computers. And he knows exactly why the chicken crossed the road. How are you doing, Cormac?
How am I doing? My Irish eyes are smiling, like.
You're doing fine, right? So why did the chicken cross the road, Cormac?
To get to Crosshaven Computers, man.
Yeah, there you go. That's one way you get digital marketing to work. Right, next is a newcomer today, and we've got Ian Harden, owner of IPC Solutions in Essex. How are you doing today, Ian?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Very well indeed.
Good, good, good. And we've also got another newcomer, and it's Daniel Stride, who is a streamer on Twitch and goes by the handle of Daniel Stride Vlogs. How are you doing today, Daniel?
I'm good, thank you, Phil.
That's good. Right, let's start off with an informal chat about what you've been up to this week, or if you've got any news or tips or advice, or basically anything you want to talk about. Let's go to Cormac first.
Yeah, it's all good. Busy as hell here, even though we have lockdown, still busy as hell. And my tip of the week, considering it's all about social media, I'm going to drop gold for people. Gold. I learned this in one of the social media courses I've done. And anyway, if you're doing targeting ads, we'll say on Facebook, okay? And we'll say if you're in a town or something, we'll do normal towns now where everything's normal and people are going to football matches and stuff like that, okay? We'll say there's a stadium or a parade or anything like that, okay? Or a concert where there's, we'll say, 30,000 people gathered in a stadium. What you do is take out Facebook, Instagram, okay, and just target that 1 kilometer. Drop your pin right in the middle of the stadium. So drop your ad right there for the day. So that means that the 30,000 people coming into that stadium, they'll be all checking their phones at some stage, they'll all be checking Facebook or Instagram, and your ad just targeted for that 1 kilometer, and presto, you've got 30,000 people looking at your ads for €10. You can send me
That is good.
That's
That
cool.
sounds pretty good. That does actually. Yeah. The only catch is that is if you support a team that has no supporters, like our local team around here, Chesterfield. You'll probably only be able to target 3,000.
So obviously that wouldn't work with Chesterfield. No, that's also that clientele you want. But any other team there, go for it.
Yeah, that's a brilliant tip actually. I can't say I've heard anyone mention that one before. So yeah, target basically when the sporting events or other events, carnivals or anything like that going off. Obviously, not in lockdown because there's not much going off at the moment. But obviously, hopefully, in a month's time, things will be a little bit better. Right. First, before we go on, let's just say hi to everyone else who's on. So hi, John Marriott. Hi, Bruno. We've also got on there Kunal, Alison Cook as well, and I think we've got Seamus as well on there. So thanks, guys, for tuning in and watching, especially on Bonfire Night. Not that you've got much else to do, considering we're all locked in their houses, but right. And next up, let's go on to Ian. Have you got any news, tips, or advice?
Well, I've just really started using Facebook ads. I've done it in the past, but what I find works for my adverts on eBay, Amazon, where I list my stuff, but also Facebook, is doing a video of your product and explaining to people exactly what it is or what you're trying to sell, and then they can actually get a physical presence of the device, and it's helped me sell quite a lot of gaming desktops, especially when all the flashy RGB is on. Apart from that, I've just been preparing myself for lockdown number 2 and trying to develop a plan for Christmas. And that's about it.
Right, okay, that's good. There's some decent tips there. Let's go on to you, Daniel. What have you been up to, or what advice or whatever can you give us?
Well, this week last week we got a new game release, so I've been heavily recording that, making sure the content's suitable. Any advice? The advice, if you do want to use social media or digital media to publicize, like Cormac said, Facebook ads is a good one. We'll drop in the pin. Twitter ads is another good way. So on Twitter, when you get new stock in to your shop and you've got it, once you've logged it all in, if you take a nice enough picture on your camera phone, post it to your Twitter, hashtag it new stock, and give a brief description of what the product is, and say, like, if you have like basic mouse mats, if you get a new mouse in and you got basic mouse mats that you get for like 50p or 20p, just say first 10 people to come in and buys a mouse gets a free mouse mat. That way they've got incentive, or say first 10 people who show us the tweet gets a free mouse mat or a discount on another item. That way you'll get more footfall in because the customers are getting not only a new mouse, but an added bonus, and they'll come back to you more and more.
Okay, some good advice there. That's nice to hear. It's nice to put that around the topic as well, which is digital media. Let's go on to Jenny now. So what have you got to tell us today, Jen?
Well, it's a little part B of last week when I told you about the new studio, and I'm going to give you a progress update on that. And Studio A is almost done. We have to have a few finishing touches put into place, but in Studio A, we will be doing our recording of the main video, and we have a green screen in there. Studio B is under construction, and I can tell you for sure that it's almost there because I've been down on the floor putting together every bit and bob from IKEA today. There's so many shelves. It's unbelievable. We will have an overhead shots area. We will have a test bench in there, and it's going to be great. So we look forward to getting it all together so we can do better videos for everybody.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to say we have been working pretty hard with that. I'm going to say lockdown sort of accelerated things a little bit because obviously, well, the store's not open anymore, even though we are doing click and collect, but we'll bit more into lockdown in a few minutes. And just say hi to Peter, who's just logged in and started watching. Right, who is also one of the regular attendees. Right, okay, on to me. Right, lockdown. That's the big one at the moment. Obviously, it's lockdown day or bonfire day or whatever day you want to call it. What I would suggest you do is not waste the time you are locked in. I know a lot of you are still going to be busy, but there's going to be a lot of you out there who will have little or no work. Don't waste that time. Spend it wisely. Get up at the same time you normally get up. Do your normal day's work. Plan on your business. So plan what new things you can do. Plan for Christmas sales. Do your accounts. Decorate your store. Just basically look at ways to improve your business. Even look at new ways to do repairs or test software and stuff. You've got plenty of time on your hands. Now's the time that most of us say we really need to better our business. You've got the time to better your business. So spend it on your business. On top of that, news today, we've also got AMD's launched their new processors. They are performing extremely well by the looks of it from all the reviews I've seen online. So basically they are performing better than Intel's, and it's not often you get to say that, especially on the gaming side, but it looks like AMD is wiping the floor with Intel, and even some of the middle range AMD processors are better at gaming than the top end Intel, for example, i9 processor. So maybe worth having a look at. But again, unfortunately, because they are better, the price seems to have gone up slightly as well, which again is good and bad in both aspects. But again, you're still getting more performance for your money, but it does mean the average price of the build is probably going to go up by another 50, 60, 70 pounds or something. But the good news is they do work on some of the older motherboards, so the 400 series and the 500 series motherboards, but you will need BIOS updates. So if you do buy one, make sure you've updated the BIOS on the board before you put it in, otherwise it probably won't work. Right, let's go on to the main topic. So digital media and lockdown 2.0. So obviously lockdown 2.0 is for in the UK. If you're watching from elsewhere, we have just been locked down, which basically means because of the coronavirus and everything going off, that basically a lot of shops and stuff like that have had to close. People have been told to stay at home. Not everyone is, but that's the basics to it. One thing I will suggest, and I'll come to in a few minutes, I'll give you a link what I suggest you have a look at. If you're not familiar or not sure what you should be doing as a business, Target Components has made a brilliant link on their website, and that's basically telling you what you should or shouldn't be doing. So let me just try and get that up on our screen now so you can see it. And obviously, if you follow these rules and regulations and stuff, that's totally up to you. But here we go. It's asking, do I want to save passwords? No, I do not. So as you can see here, this is what Target Components suggesting. So if anyone's from Target's watching, hi. But basically, it's telling you what they recommend you do or what's been recommended. So these are all for your suggestions over the next month. Again, some people are doing things slightly different. I would suggest you always check with your local council or whatever to double check to make sure you're not breaking any rules or regulations, because everywhere is different. Our local MP says we're not allowed people in our store at all last time, where some people are letting people in the store on pre-arranged appointments. So it really depends on if you are allowed to do that or not. It really depends on your local area. Last thing you want to do is the police knocking on your door and fining you 10 grand because you've got too many people in the building when you shouldn't have. So I suggest you clarify what you're doing. Right, let's go on to talking about how each of us is performing during lockdown. So let's go to you, Cormac. Have you doing anything different in lockdown over there, or how is things in Ireland?
You know, just talking about lockdown in general, not digital media. Yeah. See, we're very busy. We got our second lockdown over here, and it's a lot more lax than the first lockdown. You know, I have a home office. We're allowing people into the office, but only at pre-arranged appointment times. We have someone to book them in there. just twice a week, because the last time in lockdown, I was meeting people out in, we say, the hotel car parks. It was like nearly like being a drug dealer, to be honest. Like, as in, pull up in the car park, you exchange your goods, and off you went. You know, that was because people weren't doing around, allowed to do their travel much. But I had to evolve. People who working for me had to evolve, because I was driving around too much, picking up and dropping them, and it was getting too much. You know, we were spending half the time on the road. You know, now luckily I have a lot of business customers as well, so all the businesses are allowed open. Most of them, the ones I'm involved with, are allowed open. So we were carrying on doing business with them. So yeah, it's a strange lockdown, because it's a lockdown, but by all intents and purposes, it wasn't like the first lockdown, you know. But we have to have traceability as well, obviously. So that made it easier to tell the customers they can only be prearranged times. They can only stay in here. The max they can stay is 15 minutes, but we have to come up in 5 minutes. We're all wearing masks. We all wear protection. And that's the subject we were talking about. We were talking about that if someone came and they didn't want to wear a mask, and I'm not getting involved in debates or anything about this. It's not political. It's not in any way. I'm just talking about in the business sense that they would not be allowed in without a mask for a lot of reasons. But the reason being that if they wanted to insist to come in without a mask, then they're only there to create a scene, if you get my meaning, to be able to post that they came. So there, I'm not giving the views, my own personal views, wear the mask, but it's kind of, for a professional side of things, you have to look professional. You can't have, like, there was a gentleman I know, a good friend of mine he said he went to a takeaway restaurant, there was no one wearing masks, he's not going back. That will happen to your business if you do it that way. You know, whatever your personal views, your business will be affected if you do not be professional as held throughout all that. That's my opinion anyway, you know.
Yeah, that's good points there. You have to make sure you don't do what you think. You need to protect your customers as a whole and do what is right in general. So it doesn't matter if you think coronavirus is a scam or created by some mad scientist or whatever you think. You need to protect your customers, or at least be seen to be protecting your customers, because those customers come in and see that you're flouting the rules or not doing what you should be, then you're going to put them off one way or the other, and they'll remember that and they won't come back. So no matter what you believe, do make sure you obviously follow the rules and help.
Speaking of your experience there with the restaurant, cleanliness is not just down to restaurants. It is down to us as well. As you say, I remember being put off in a certain restaurant because there was a lot of flies flying about for no apparent reason. And there's no flies where there's cleanliness. You know, it's there's got to be some filth of something going on somewhere, or there won't be flies. And they were just swarming the place, and we walked out. So just think about garbage and things that you might think, oh, I'll take it out later. You know, just general common sense in your business. Keep it tidy, keep it clean, because people that come in, and they will be put off if the place is in the right state.
That's true. And also, if it smells of pizzas and takeaways, I've been in plenty of small shops. What do? Right, let's go over to you, Ian. What have you been up to with lockdown going off? Has it affected your business, or are you having to do anything different?
I've kind of, because I work from home and I have no shop, I've kind of just continued what I was doing in lockdown one. So I was doing doorstep exchanges, click and collect services. If I had someone coming into the porch because it was raining, then they would stand 2 meters away from me, and we both would be wearing masks. I would sanitize the equipment when I took it off them, and then they would go on their merry way. So I'm kind of, I'll be doing the same as that now. I'm going to be doing less home visits. Well, I won't be doing any home visits at all if I can help it, just for the safety of my customers as well as myself. Unless it's absolutely necessary. Like some of my elderly clients that I've got that do rely heavily on their IT, then I would consider it if it's safe to do so. Usually the ones I was doing in lockdown one, when we were allowed to go out, I was doing the jobs in a separate room for them, and they were sort of leaving me alone. So it kind of worked well. But mainly I sell mainly online, and if people phone up, I just post the stuff to them and take bank transfer. So that's what I'm mainly going to be doing this year, leading up to Christmas. I know that we're supposed to be coming out of this on the 2nd of December, but I'll probably continue doing the same kind of safety precautions all the way now, because I think if you sort of let your guard down a bit, then you're causing hassle for yourself and other people. But it is difficult doing it from home when you haven't got a separate office or something in the garden, which is my dream, to have a little office or shop in the garden that I can completely separate from my home. But it's working fine at the moment, so that's mainly what I'm going to be doing, and then just focusing on building and shipping out to customers when I want gaming PCs for Christmas.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I say our experience has obviously been probably a little bit different, because we've got a store, haven't we, Jen? So we're having to do things a little bit different, because obviously the store is physically closed now. What we're having to do is basically do collection and drop-off service. So basically the customer will call, say they've got a problem, we go out, pick it up at the door, wear a mask and gloves, or look like something out of Breaking Bad, basically, or a Smurf with the blue gloves on, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm picking stuff up, we take it back to the store, repair it. Obviously between there we clean it as well, and then obviously repair it, give them a call, and then arrange to take it back, drop it off at the doorstep yet again, and then clean it as we drop it off, just so the customer can see it's clean and so forth. But we're not going in any houses or anything like that for any reason we have to in this type of business or anything like that. It's going to be one of these things of strictly, you've got to get out of the office, no one else is in there, anything like that. Hopefully we don't have anything like that again, but we did in the last lockdown a couple of times where it's just, well, the business has got to carry on, and obviously they need help, so you have to do what you can do. But unless you're 100% sure you're going to be fine, then don't do it. Obviously if it's a new customer, then we would probably say no, I'd only do it for current customers. But again, everyone's different. Right. What about yourself, Daniel? Has it affected streaming or anything like that? Are you getting more viewers because of the lockdown, because people are spending more time at home, or have you not noticed much of a difference for yourself?
I've noticed. Excuse me. I've noticed that I'm getting more and more viewers. Like obviously because between first lockdown, obviously everything was shut, schools, colleges, and so on. So I was getting a lot more viewers and a lot more questions being asked, and a lot of people getting in touch with me through Twitter or my personal Facebook, asking me, "Oh, Daniel, I need a new graphics card," or "Can you get me this? Can you get me that?" And what's fortunate enough for me, one of the services that one of the suppliers offer is that you can get the items sent direct from the supplier straight to the customer's house.
Yeah.
Which is such a massive plus side. So I don't see it as it's the supplier's warehouse. That's my warehouse and it's my stock. So if the customer says to me, "Oh, I need a 2060 graphics card, Dan, have you got one?" I was like, "What size do you need?" "There's 6 gig. I can go on the supplier's website." "Yep, no problem." They send me the payment through bank transfer or through Square card reader straight away. Get it by 5 p.m. They can have it next day.
Yeah.
And they're amazed at how quick I can get them the product, and they go, "Are you sure you can get it by that soon? That's too quick, surely." I was like, it is what it is. I can get it you tomorrow.
Exactly. Drop shipping's a brilliant thing to have, because you can basically get something direct to the customer next day, and I wish more suppliers did do that. I know a few of them. I'm guessing I know who the one is you use, and I'm guessing it starts with the letter T, but I might be wrong.
You know what? You know what, Phil? You're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've already mentioned them tonight, but yeah, drop shipping is a good service. We don't use it too much because we mainly sell directly in the store and do stuff ourselves. But that's one thing to lead on to, actually. What we've mentioned there is onto the main topic, which is digital media, which we'll come to Cormac, Ian, and more with Daniel in a few minutes. Is the last lockdown, our Text for Text channel, where we've got our reviews and so forth for the consumers, we got a 70% increase in views during lockdown. So that's a hell of a lot more people are watching content online. They're watching digital videos. They've got more time to spend. They don't know what to do. They can't go out. They can't go partying, or at least they shouldn't be. They're watching videos. And if you can create the content, whether it's be an advert or something silly or whatever, it could potentially get seen and more people are seeing it. But what I'm going to do is, first of all, is go over to Cormy or Cormac. He likes being called Cormy on his name. Go over to Cormac because he's does some very unique things with his social media. And if you've not seen it before, I do suggest you have a look at his website and so forth, or at least his social media pages, should I say. So Cormac, how do you use social media to your advantage?
Social media is everything to my business. And when I was doing, I got qualifications, and I was taught by a very good person. And the first thing he said when he came into class, and he was 100% right, Damien was his name, that they're all doing it wrong. They're literally all doing it wrong. They're all doing generic, like I'm talking about the agencies now, they're all doing generic stuff, you know. And there's a couple of things to understand about social media. We'll say Facebook now and Instagram and talk for a start. One of the very first things anyway is that the average watch time on any video on Facebook is 6 seconds, okay? So there's no point putting up 3-minute videos unless they're really engaging, but they're not going to happen. So you need to get everything direct. Second of all, and I must not forget to say this, every single post at this present moment in time should have shop local in it, okay? Shop local, shop local. And where Phil is talking about my social media, I done it different, and I got for a few awards for it and all that. But the thing about it is that I don't sell directly through my social media. I don't very well. I do refurbished laptops. I do ads for that and stuff. But what it is for me, it's all about brand awareness, okay? Now, if social media is done right and proper, it's very, very cheap. And where I think a lot of people make mistakes is that they put up an ad, they don't have customers banging down the doors for the first 2 or 3 days, and they say, this isn't working, okay? Second of all, and I've seen it right across the board in Facebook pages belonging to shops and groups and people out there, they're putting out posts which are aimed at more at the text and the customers. And a famous example of this, will they put up something like, you know, we'll put SSD drives into your computer and we'll have 4 gig, 8 gig of RAM and bore, because it will bore any of the normal people. They don't know what an SSD is. They don't know anything like that, you know. And they're putting up long posts which no one has reads, okay? Now, before with Facebook, you used to get a big reach if you had loads of likes. You know, maybe 50% of the people, if you had 1,000 likes, 50% of people would see it. They don't see it. Only 5% of people see your post, and it's probably people you aren't engaging with. So they'll say, oh, nice post. The rest of the people ain't seen it. It has to be paid. Has to be paid. And like, I'm totally out there in my ads. I put myself front and center in the ads. They're crazy. They're quirky. They're after getting us extremely well known. What do they have to do with computers? Nothing in general. In general, my ads don't have much to do with computers at all. Barely mentioned. What it is getting the Crosshaven Computers name and brand out there. You know, I get stopped where I live in a small place. I'll get stopped in the village. I'll get stopped walking down the street. Everyone knows us from our social media ads. We'll put up crazy stuff. For like last Christmas, what we done, we used TikTok. We used the filters on TikTok. Myself and my mate done a little bit of dancing, got their child involved. We downloaded from TikTok and uploaded it to Facebook, and that was our Happy Christmas ad. Nothing, no text saying Happy Christmas from Crosshaven Computers. You see a million of those at Christmas time. You need video. It all has to be videos. It has to be short videos. And the other thing that you need to remember is that it's just about getting your name out there, okay? You will not get a hit straight away. It's about 2 or 3 months' time, and people will say, oh, yes, I remember that name. or get your name so well known out that when they actually Google for computer repair, and if your SEO is right, your name, your business name will pop up there, you know. And I generally do appreciate that not everyone can do what like I do, in the sense that I am not a shy person, so I'll come up with quirky things, crazy things, and as I said, I stay away from anything religious, anything controversial. Sometimes, mostly I stay away from politics because you don't want to alienate your customers in any way, shape, or form. But what you need to do is go and do videos. I am not the biggest fan of Twitter advertising. I got one or two customers over the years for Twitter, but maybe people are trying more than that. I can't speak to you about LinkedIn. I don't do LinkedIn as much as I should. But what I do say, and I'm going to post actually in the group afterwards. I'm going to post a link to a gentleman where I'm getting loads of ads done on Fiverr for around €30. Obviously, I don't know this person, but he's doing some very, very quirky ads. I've done a very good Halloween ad. It was cost me €30, and it's video, video, video. You know, has to be video, 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 and I don't care how you put it in. Has to be shop local, support local. Everyone out there, no one wants to see businesses fail. So get a video ad done, and get it saying shop local. That's the most important thing that I can say here today, you know.
Is anyone else having trouble with Cormac going in and out on their audio?
Yes,
I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this today, folks, the audio. So if anyone missed that rant, I apologize.
That's okay.
I have to do at the moment. So look, if it's not good enough, I can drop out of it. There's no worries.
It's very quiet.
Yeah, it was better when it was down a minute ago. I think sometimes when you move your arms about, it somehow affects your microphone. I know you're very handy.
So
I am too, Cormac.
I apologize to anyone listening. I'm in a very bad place to do the podcast tonight. Anyway, that's the only room I could use tonight.
That's not a problem, Cormac.
That's okay, Cormac.
Any information you can give us, I think a lot of people managed to get the gist of that if they didn't get all of it. But I'll edit the audio, and when it's on a podcast, it should be a bit clearer for a lot of people. So any advice you can give us, Cormac, that's brilliant. Yeah, Cormac's got some good points there. Video is an amazing tool you can use, and when promoting your business, video is probably the best tool you can do. And again, you don't have to promote your products, or don't promote directly your products. It's the same if you're doing blogs and stuff. You want to give more advice than sales. Try and probably do 4 advice or humor posts or whatever they are per every 1 sales at least. It keeps things looking a little bit more less selly. People will obviously join because they want to obviously see what you're going to do next or what's on next. And I must admit, one of our most popular videos was last Christmas. We did a picture of Father Christmas, not a picture of him, but an actual augmented reality image of him in our store, where it looked like Father Christmas was in the store looking around. Filmed it on the iPhone, posted it on Facebook. The amount of people who liked and watched that was unbelievable. The next post we put on for how many laptops we got for sales pretty much got no views. They weren't bothered, but it gets that brand awareness. And then we had kids coming in saying, "Oh, it's Father Christmas in here."
Yeah, including our nephew.
You get remembered for things like that. And we did a similar one with a dinosaur, and we put a post up saying, "Has someone lost their dog?" Basically. So the customer, obviously all the customers start commenting on it and so forth. And it's that brand awareness. It's not always down to sales. Just to give you some stats, these stats are done by a website or company called DataBox. Basically, the amount of interaction people actually do on an actual video compared to images and text. So if you were to put a text in front of an image and video, from the same company regarding the same subject and so forth, only 11 people would click on the image with text. 29.6 would click on an image. So sorry, text on its own 11%. With an image, it's 29.6%. And if it was a video, it was like 69.4%. So you can see that 3 times more people are basically clicking on video than image, and 3 times more on an image than just text alone. So that's one thing to bear in mind. So more people are clicking on video than images and text. And there is a 2 to 3 times more chance that someone will actually click a link on that video or in the content and so forth. So that's more chance that they'll go to your website on a video than if it was an image or text. So not are more people actually viewing it, they're actually clicking on the links and seeing the information on there. So it might just be a link to your website, it might be something funny you put on, who knows. You could even do a competition or just a find something on your website. You'd be surprised, you put little Santa Clauses on different pages on your website, you ask kids to find them, they'll go and look for them, and then obviously that's allowing you to basically promote your website because of all these people looking for these little Santa Clauses or Halloween things or whatever. And according to DataBox as well, conversions of sales are 20 to 30% more likely if they'd watched the video first as well. So that means you not only get more views, you get more clicks to your website, and then there's a more chance that you're going to sell something if they initially came from a video than if it was just a basic image or text. And if you are just using images, you can try and do them in that 3D mode you can do on a lot of phones and stuff. It does make them stand out a little bit more. Anything what's better than just sitting there playing and not doing much. Let's go on to Ian. Do you do anything regarding social media, Ian, or how do you promote your business online?
I've started doing it a lot more in the last year because it's a second job for me. It's having the time to do it, having the time to update my website. But I was interested in a lot of what Corey was saying actually about some of the steps that he's done, especially about the adverts. But I found some of the most successful posts on my Facebook page, especially, was when I was away on holiday and I was taking pictures of lovely landscapes and mountains I was climbing up, and they were getting more views and likes and shares than the posts about come and buy my HP laptop. So I think mixing kind of pleasure with business works on your Facebook page as well. And when I was doing some of the blogs on my website, not that I'm an expert blogger for any stretch of the imagination, and when you mix both of them again on there, there was a lot more likes and shares. I'm definitely going to go back to more of my videos. And I think videos that are non-sales, like I used to do posts on tips, like a tip of the week on something that can speed your machine up, or just commenting, like, say, for example, the new Ryzen processor. I've been, like yourself, Phil, following that a lot this week. And just making comments around new items that are coming out, not necessarily what I'm going to be selling, are also a pretty good thing to do. I'd definitely like to look more into advertising, but I get mixed responses and opinions from people. Some say it's good, some say it's a waste of money. I've just done some targeted ads on Facebook regards to Christmas gaming PCs, etc. So I'm going to see how that goes. I'm not expecting miracles on that one, but I've got that running for a few weeks, just within a certain radius of my home. But I certainly like Connie's idea of doing the specific ad.
To comment on advertising, my father was in advertising and radio, and he would tell his people that were kind of on the fence about it, the day you stop advertising is the day your business starts dying. So I would never say that it's a waste of money. Now, how you utilize your advertising budget can be whether it makes a go of it or it's a waste of it. But advertising in itself is good for business. You just need to know your target audience. You need to know what your budget is. and the best place to do it. I can recommend parish magazines. I can't recommend them enough. They are very cheap. Most people read them, even if it's just standing at the chemist and they pick it up and read it while they're waiting on prescriptions. They are very cheap and they reach a lot of people. I can't tell you how many people I have come through my door and say, I saw you in the parish magazine. I mean, and they will take the magazine that they have purchased at the chemist or wherever. They'll pass it on to a friend to read. That person sees you. So it's not just the people buying them, even down to the trash man that has to put it in the bin. He sees you too. Ad placement in the magazine. We started out with a small ad, and then we worked up to a full page. Go all out, full page. You want to be seen. You don't want to be the little business card size because that's skimmed over. The big in your face full page ad, that's where it is. You can't help but to see that.
I do advertise in local media, my local ads. I do the parish magazine as well for the church, and also the business guide. So I do my local advertising.
Yeah.
A lot of mine is referral, is word of mouth. That's where predominantly most of my work locally comes from. Although they do see it in the local ads, and I have got the half-page ad in there, which works fine. But again, I'm no expert at marketing and developing adverts, and I think that's probably where I go wrong. I need some guidance on how to do the best adverts, I think.
You're on the right track with your word of mouth as well, because that's your best bargaining chip is when a customer is pleased with your services and passes it on to a friend. Now, the way you can make that even better is when they say that you've done an excellent job for them and they don't know how to thank you enough. Give them 2 business cards. Say, well, here's my card. If you need me again, you know who to call. They've got your information this way, right? And say, now that other card, give it to a friend that might need me. Business cards are cheap, very cheap. Vistaprint, do it all day long. Get you some really nice business cards made up and see the difference when you start doing that. When you build a machine for someone, let's just say it's a gaming rig, and you're going to give them back their discs, their manuals, and all that in a motherboard box like I do. Slide in a couple of business cards as well. It's sneaky little tactics like that I do. I write a letter to the owner from the computer itself. How to take care of me. Thank you for buying me. I hope I can do what you want me to do. And if you have any problems with me being naughty, please contact the lady who built me. It's just things like that, it's free advertising. It doesn't cost much.
The thing that I used to do, and I've run out of them now actually, is from Vistaprint. I had little magnets made up with like a business card magnet, and I stuck that on the side of gaming machines and PCs. Yes, they can fall off, but most of the time when I'd go to the customer's house to do services, I'd see the magnet still on the side or on their fridge.
Yeah, we've done a similar thing with stickers. Basically, every machine with a sticker on the side. If we service a laptop, we stick it on the bottom or underneath or whatever. And you'd be surprised how many people come back. You can lose a business card. It's not so easy to lose a sticker what's stuck on there. And also with friends of this person, let's say it's a kid who's had a gaming machine, they can see the sticker on there and they know who's made it and so forth. And it can be quite useful.
We can also judge the age of a machine by the stickers. Look.
One of the things to bear in mind is with social media, don't necessarily have to advertise. If your ads are good enough and they get shared enough, you don't need to pay. Don't get me wrong. With any aspect, paying usually gets a wider audience, but it might be an idea to see how it performs first where it's not advertised. If people like it and then they're going, oh, wow, this is brilliant, then it might be a good idea to put a few quid on it to see how it goes. If obviously it's something you post on your Facebook page and not one person is interested, the chances if you're going to put money on it, no one else is going to be interested either. Cormac, am I all right sharing your screen sharing your Facebook page for a minute? Your business one.
Technology, yeah, no. Bear with me there.
No, I can share at this end.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, if you're tech, if you know how to do tech, do it, man.
I'm going to share your Facebook page. Is Crosshaven Computers if anyone wants to look it up themselves. So let me just go on to there. I've already got a screen on.
Oh my God, yeah, we done a UFO. Oh, that's my local. That's the local. That's the local. That's the local house, the big house down the road, which just happened to have a UFO coming that day. What has that have to do with computers? Nothing, but you know, it gets people out there. Yeah, that was it. I uploaded a filter from Snapchat. There was UFOs. UFO, yeah. There was that. Actually, yeah. Those video covers there were done. Oh yes, this one. I like this one actually. Rod Stewart was playing in our town, so I got a cover made off, and it's always been my dream to perform in Cork and get my laptop repaired at Crosshaven Computers. Obviously, it's on the Rolling Stone magazine. That actually turned out very well because, funny enough, I put that ad up, and the next day he actually sailed in a yacht into my town. So there was loads of photos of him just like, 500 meters away from where I was working. So then I followed it up with pictures of Rod Stewart around the place, and I said, I told you he was laptop prepared. I was a bit lucky, that one, all right, yeah. But down, yeah, oh yes, this is Bill Gates. If Crosshaven where computers was not so effective at speeding up my laptop, I would have switched to a MacBook years ago. A famous Bill Gates quote from 2019. There's also, actually, there's an interesting one there. Underneath, I think, or somewhere, I have a quote from Steve Jobs saying that, again, he recommends Crosshaven Computers to repair his Mac. Oh, yeah, this was snakes. Don't ask Patrick's Day, obviously, the snakes, So as you can see, it's a little bit crazy. Yeah, these are all things, Steve Jobs' quote was from 2012. Those people wrote in to say that Steve Jobs died in 2011. I knew that. No one wrote in to say he didn't say that quote. So, yeah, these are. This is Game of Thrones. This is quite cool, actually. Yeah, make of it as you will, but it gets loads of views, Yeah. That's the famous Steve Jobs quote. As I said, he died in 2011, so it's hard for him to quote. So they're a little out there, but they work,
Yeah, there's very little sales material on there, but if people actually have a look, how many people have liked and commented on these things? Well, there's 82 people there who have liked this.
So, and I'll just go down to this one. If you look at this one, this was shared 112 times and liked nearly 500 times. All I did was take a picture of an old phone, and done something relatively funny on it, but it was shared. That must have got 10,000 views or something,
Yeah.
And there's nothing. But see, if you see at the very top of the ad, it's Crosshaven Computers. That's the only thing. Run by Crosshaven Computers. That's where my advertising comes from,
People like things that they can relate to, and most of the panel, I would say, can relate to dialing a telephone, pre-touch tone phone era. So when they see the dial phone there, it's like, oh, that reminds me of my childhood.
Sorry,
I don't remember what a dial phone is. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bill, do you remember that ad about the Google Home, and he done it with the Apple one? You know, when we went, hey Google, what's the best computer repair shop in Ireland? And it said me, and then Phil and Jen tried it with the best. Well, you got the best computer repair shop in the universe, didn't he? With your Apple.
Yeah, exactly.
You done me.
So basically, I just pick the phone up and says, "What's the best computer? Hey Siri, what's the best computer shop in the universe?" And it went, "Yeah, Chips Computers and whatever," and just recorded that. And then everyone thinks you got the best computer shop in the universe or whatever. A lot of times,
that's true results. That's try it.
That's it. A lot of times, because obviously it's where you are, Siri automatically thinks, "Oh, you mean the one what's close by?" So obviously, if you record it, make sure it doesn't say one of your competitors. Sounds like Daniel's got a someone breaking into his house or something there.
I do apologise. It's fine. I do apologise.
That's no problem. We'll come over to you now, actually, Daniel, so you can say a few things. How do you think that marketing can help businesses and stuff like that doing streaming? Because we don't see many businesses doing streaming.
No, what's nice, so not many businesses like Cormy's, Ian's or yourself or Chips Computers, not many of those will actually stream on platform like Twitch or something, which is what I predominantly do. But streamers or the companies will get in touch with the streamers and go, look, could we sponsor your stream? And by sponsoring the stream, you can have something called a panel in the stream window, so the viewers can scroll down. They click an image of your business or a name or whatever picture the company provides. The streamer puts it into a panel. They click the panel, and it will direct the viewer to a particular website. So it could send them to Cormy's Facebook shop online or Facebook page. I was like, and during the stream, the streamer would then say, "Guys, this stream today is sponsored by Chips Computers. If you need any computer needs, go visit them. There's information in the panel below," and the logo would be on the stream. And I tend to do that I have a couple of companies that come to me that do that. So during my streams and stuff, they've got a logo spinning around in the top right-hand corner of the stream. So people go, "Oh, what's that? What was that?" And they see something fly past. So they stay. So they watch my stream for longer, and then I'll mention their company name every so often. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But then the viewers will ask me questions. "Oh, Dan, I live in such a place. Do you know where I could get this sorted for my gaming PC?" I'm like, well, in your area, there's this. You know what I mean? Go to here, talk to them here. And it works. But going on to the video aspect that Corey mentioned, for a video to do well, yes, it needs to be short. Like TV adverts an advert on TV tends to be about 15 to 30 seconds per advert in an ad break. And what they have on there, and the reason why we watch an advert about a nice burger or chicken or whatever, like, because they use colours that pop and they use a soundtrack. And if you're advertising on YouTube or whatever, make sure that the music is copyright. If you're making a video, make sure the music's copyright free. That's a key thing, copyright free music, because then you won't get a copyright claim on your video. Make sure that it's been edited to a fairly good standard. Make sure there's no bloopers in there. So if you accidentally drop a mouse, you don't end up swearing, and then you upload the video of you swearing, because customers don't want to see you swear. So you need to make sure you got the colours pop and that they can understand what you're saying. And like I said, like Cormy said, don't do product-based videos. Do one of those like once a month, have a product of the month kind of showcased. But the rest of the week, like Ian says, like, tip. Tuesday's tip, and you could make it into a series. So every Tuesday you upload a video of a tip that you've got. You can make that into a playlist. People can binge watch it between now and the 2nd of December whilst we're in lockdown again. Okay. And they could learn stuff to make their streams better, their businesses better.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good. One thing to add on to that about obviously using on social media or digital marketing or anything is obviously, as I've said, don't do too much sales stuff. But when you do use sales stuff, do it something unique. Don't do like what a lot of people do is show. I don't know. They'll say, right, here's a laptop for £500. Do something a bit more interesting. Start by dropping an old laptop on the floor or smashing it up, and then say, if your laptop's a waste of space, just go and buy one of these laptops. It'll do everything you want for £500. There's more chance someone's going to watch the beginning of the video if they see someone smashing up a laptop. Obviously, make sure it's not worth £500 before you smash it up. Smash something up like that, something what's going to grab people's attention, and obviously make sure you target it at the right type of person. Not everyone wants that same thing. So let's say, for example, if you're doing a gaming machine, you want to aim it at gamers, because obviously an elderly person isn't going to want. Our
stream's having issues.
Sorry, John?
I said our stream was having issues just then.
Was it? Okay, it looks okay this end. It's probably a lot of people with it locked down wanting to do stuff. Was you putting your hand up there, Daniel? Sorry.
Yeah, just to add on to if you do just adding on to the sales video, you were saying make it unique. If you want a good way to make it unique, is try different effects and filters. So when you're editing it, add like a grainy video camera filter or use green screen. So make a green screen space around the computer, and then you can add a background in. So if you've got a high-end gaming PC that's out of this world, you put that onto a green screen platform and surroundings. You could have the universe or the Milky Way in the distance, and then it shows that this gaming machine's out of this world. Just look, it is out of this world. And you can see it going, you see the moon, and it's going through the solar system. A bit like that bad. There was an old game commercial that got banned because it showed the life cycle, and it got banned because it was a bit too harsh, I believe. But just use the special effects, and in green screens, you can buy green screen fabric from a local haberdashery for $700 under a tenner, and that's nothing, and it's simple to do, and it will be so powerful as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. And a lot of these things you can do on a standard iPhone or Apple phone or any other maker phone to...
Oh, easily. There's plenty of apps out there that offer free video editing. I know Adobe do some editing software. I use a piece of software that I use, and I also do video editing on the side. What I want to say is if anyone on Tech for Text wants any help with editing, to drop me a message on Facebook, and I will do my best to help them out.
Yeah, and his name's Daniel Stride, so I'll link his name afterwards if anyone does. Right, let's just go on to the chat before we put some final thoughts and stuff in. So let's have a look what we've got. Yeah, we've got people mentioning about COVID. Make sure you're wearing masks. It's polite. The law's the law. You should comply with it, whether it's right and wrong. A few people have said it's cutting out the stream tonight. It seems to be playing okay this end from what I'm seeing, but again, there's a lot of people COVID, and you never know with fireworks and watching all the government reports, and who knows if Trump's affecting it with the election over there or whatever. Who knows? But we've got a few things like that. So a few other comments. Let's have a look. Let's just go down. A lot of people like your Facebook page, Cormac. So I've put a link in there so they can see it. So I must admit, they do seem to like that. A few people.
While you're at it, I'd like to give a shout out to Target Components. They shipped us some POS to decorate our studios with, and we are very grateful to them. We've had a lot of support from Target, so I would really like to thank them for helping us in building the new TFT. And as always, other distributors that are on board with us, and we really thank you for that.
Yeah, and as always, thank you to all the vendors what sent us stuff as well to review in the past.
Yes.
regarding Cormac's volume, a few people have had issues with you, and they mentioned that you're quite animated. Is probably the best way of putting it.
Well, I actually, while I was on, I just ordered a headset with a mic.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's hard to hear you again then. So, but I heard headset and mic.
Headset and mic, yeah. So sorry about that again, people.
Yeah, I'll tell Cormac off after this show. We'll ban him from seeing chickens for a week.
Oh no.
Let's have a look. Regarding digital media, Kuno saying we use puzzles where people can interact and respond with answers on a social media, and helps getting the post trending, and at times getting hundreds to share and follow. So if you want to link your page, Kuno, feel free so everyone can see what you mean and how it works. Let's have a look. Seamus is saying, have you all found more interesting gaming PCs this year compared to previous? He's had so many builds in the last few months. I must admit, we've had a lot of builds for gaming PCs, haven't we? PCs
we have, well, PCs in general, we've had a lot of builds to do. I have seen an increase in gaming PCs this year, though, I must say. Just before lockdown, I built one up and had to get someone to come in and collect it ahead of time because we were going into lockdown. So I had to make sure everything was done with that. But yeah, you're right. There's a rise on gaming computers.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm finding there's a massive desire for ultra small form factor PCs this year. I've sold an awful lot of them. More than gaming PCs actually.
No, that's quite surprising. We don't do a lot of small form factor, do we? Or get much demand for it. So
there's a reason.
Yeah, well, obviously for gaming and stuff, you ideally want something a little bit bigger. But even for office and stuff, we're not finding many people wanting small things. But
I'm finding that I'm getting a lot of people asking me about the 30 series graphics cards, and it's getting to that frustration point. It's like, give me a minute, they will come. Trust me, just bear with me, please.
We mentioned that a few weeks back on one of the shows that NVIDIA need to get their act together.
Definitely.
Because, for them to be rated as the go-to card and everything, they're not out there for it to be bought. And what that's going to do is AMD is going to get their business, because there's only a few of the old generation cards to go around. They're not being made anymore. So you'll see that as the supplies deplete, the prices are going to be jacked up on the old NVIDIA cards. And they're just not going to pay it. I wouldn't pay it.
Yeah.
No, what I'm seeing on my social media is a lot of people going, bye-bye Intel, hello AMD. How are you, kind of thing, just because of how much they've stepped up their game out of nowhere, from the deep down. They've just popped up and go, hello, we can be better than Intel. And NVIDIA, it's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say, 5 years ago, probably not even that, 2-3 years ago, someone says, what's the best graphics card? What's the best processor? You got Intel, NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Now, suddenly, in the space of a few weeks, it's AMD and AMD.
It's a weird transition how they've come out. They've pulled out the biggest magic trick I've ever seen, and hats off to them.
Yeah, they've done pretty well. I think they've got Intel a bit by surprise, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
Regarding marketing, Kuno's also said freelancer is very good to get a marketing campaign made for you. I'm presuming Freelancer is a website where they can make you GIF banners, animated videos for under £50 to get you going. And that's obviously made by experts who are doing it quite often. So obviously you're getting decent stuff done for £50. It sounds a lot, but if you can attract customers with it, you only really need to get one new customer from a video or a GIF or whatever for it to be worthwhile. So generally, if you get the right stuff done, it's probably worked well for you. Alison says, nice pad, Cormy.
It is a lovely house. Thank you, Alison.
Let's have a look. Richard Creedy says, I remember having a separate phone line just for the dial-up internet. Yeah, I remember those days as well, and I remember those days getting told off from my parents because I was hogging the phone up all the time, and we did have to have a second phone line put in so I could play.
I had a beeper. If you called my beeper when the phone was busy, I'd get off the internet and call you back.
Oh, God. A beeper. Like a beeper and pager. A lot of people won't even know what those are if they're under 30 these days.
I don't know what either of them are. I'm 32 and I'm lost.
Yeah, it's basically just a little device which would let you know that someone was sending you a message, or they could send you a really small message on. It's basically a basic form of text, extremely basic form of text is probably the best way.
Okay.
Someone would beep you and you'd know, right, someone's trying to get hold of me, so then you'd give them a call on your landline.
Okay.
So I think it was more common in the States, I think, that were
we wore beepers, and if we decided we wanted to talk to you and you were worthy enough, we would call you on our cell phones, and we just never gave out our cell phone number. We would, call my beeper, and then it's if you're worthy enough, I'll call you back.
You'll probably see them on a few old hospital shows and stuff like that, or they've usually got beepers attached to the belt or something in the pocket. Right, going back to the comments, Seema says Cormac is a mad lad. I'm guessing that's regarding the Facebook page, or at least I hope so anyway.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah, Peter Whitehouse, I guess people want small form factors for working at home. Yeah, probably so. We're finding more people wanting laptops than that, but again, it depends on where you are and what your business base is. Obviously, you've probably got more business customers, then they'll probably find they want more form factor stuff. We deal with a lot of home users, I say home users, residential customers, so they do tend to go more down the laptop side of things. But again, everyone's different. Kuno's actually linked his page as well in the comments if anyone wants to have a look at it. I'll have a look at that a bit later on. Richard Creedy asks, what's the reliability of AMD like, though? Have you really had any problems with it? Basically, can you abuse it, like the Intel and so forth? Basics is I've not had any issues with AMD. I'm running a Threadripper at the moment, the 3960, which is like a 24 core 48 threads. I'm overclocking this thing to like 4.4 gigahertz on water cooler. It gets hot, uses a lot of power, but it doesn't lose a beat. I've upgraded from a 900K to that, and there's a huge difference, and it's okay, it's only a year old, you could say, but I've not had any issues with it, and it performs like a beast in all honesty. Let's have a look. 11 characters on pager max capacity. Right, there you go.
Yeah,
so
there was
characters. So you basically, it's a text message with a maximum of 11 characters, so enough to say what says phone home, or phone Phil, or phone Bob, or whatever it says.
We had a way of using our numbers to spell out messages like help. I think that was spelled. You had to spell it backwards, and it would be upside down. It would be the 4, the 3, the 1, and I can't remember what the H was, but 431 would have been 431, and then another number would have been help. And that meant an emergency at home or something like that. So you'd call home.
Oh, there we go. Peter says his small form factors are Intel NUCs or NUCs that were built. He keeps an i3, 5, and 7 bare bones in, and then adds either 8, 16, 32 gig of RAM, and then obviously SSDs, your choice of 256 up to a terabyte. Obviously, I suppose if anyone wants bigger than that, you can get it, but it'll probably cost you a bomb. So there we go. Yes, I do like that comment, Richard. I remember what that one actually means. I'm not going to say it on the video though, but I'll let you guys read that a bit later. Right, okay, so have you guys got anything you would like to add before we end the show, because we are slightly over the hour? So I'm guessing Cormac looks like he's going to fall asleep any minute.
Dinner time, Phil. It's a long day, man.
So
Fire time, man.
have you got anything you want to add on Cormac or anything before we call it a night?
No, besides that, I'll have a mic next time.
Yeah, okay. I'll take you on that one.
That's okay,
If not,
Cormac.
I'll send you a bill. I don't know what for, but I'll send you one. What about you, Ian? Do you have anything you'd like to add on to the comment, to the subject or anything?
No, I think there's some pretty interesting stuff being said tonight. Actually, I've certainly learned a lot of stuff. Just know, everybody keep safe.
Okay, that's a good one. What about yourself? What about yourself, Daniel?
Just to echo what Ian just says, just stay safe, guys, and be responsible and don't do anything stupid.
Well, I don't know about the don't do anything stupid thing. I think there's plenty of people doing that side of things at the moment.
I hope they stop being.
Did I cut you off there, Ian? Was there something else you were saying?
No, I was just saying stay safe and hope everyone's businesses still continue to thrive.
Yeah, I don't think this lockdown's going to be as bad as the last ones, as long as we do finish on the 2nd of December, like they're promising. Let's just doesn't go on all the way to the end of the extension of the furlough, which is, I think, was it the end of March or something like that?
March, yeah.
Let's hope they're not. Jenny, do you have anything you want to add?
I'll just finish up on the subject that we were talking about tonight. On keeping it simple on your ads and everything. Like Cormac said, you can bore people with tech talk. You might think that you're coming across as all knowledgeable and everything, but they're just going to close it down and everything, and it's going to be a bit pointless. So keep it simple. PC for sale, inquire within, is better than 32 gigabytes, i9, 500 gigabyte NVMe, and so forth and so on. Just a nice picture, inquire within,
There we go. Nice one. Thank you, Jen. Right. I think we'll finish it there. So I would like to thank Cormac, Ian, Daniel, and obviously Jennifer for joining today. If you are an independent trader, store owner, MSP, tech, vendor, or distributor, you can find out more information about Tech for Techs at techfortechs.co.uk/join. Join over 1,000 members just like you that can give you free business or tech advice. And did I say it's totally free to join with no membership fees or cost to you? And obviously, when you're filling the form in, make sure you fill it in correctly when you want to join the group. Otherwise, we will not let you in. If you do not answer all the questions, we will not let you in. If your web address is wrong, we will not let you in. We turn down around about 250 applications a week. Okay, and we only let in around about 10 to 20. So just bear that in mind. If you haven't been accepted, it's because you ain't filled it in properly. So I'd like to say thank you for watching for tonight, and thank you for supporting independent businesses. Thanks again, everyone. Good night.